Welcome back, everyone, to the High Tempo Sports Podcast, episode 146. Quickly, before you even do anything else, don't even talk to your mom. Don't pet your dog. Go like the Sauce Draft. Go check it out if you haven't. It was like easily our most highly anticipated episode ever.
Yeah.
And it did not disappoint.
No, it was crazy.
It was crazy. It was fun. It's leading us into a new direction of other things we can do on the podcast.
Top to bottom, hilarious from first minute to hour 15. I don't know how long the podcast was.
It was long. Like, it was a great draft.
Great episode.
If you like Sauce and you like debating what sauce is good, then go check it out. It was a really fun episode. You don't have to be a sports listener to check it out. But if you are a sports listener, today's about sports.
Yeah, today's your kind of episode. We're not done. We're not finished.
Exactly.
We got more to talk about.
We are going to get more involved, though, in non-sports related content. But that's not a bad thing. Like, so if you're a sports guy, like, we're still going to do sports stuff, obviously. It's mainly like this is just a dead time in sports right now.
We're bored.
I'm a baseball fan. Easton is like becoming a baseball fan, you know?
Yeah, mid-level.
But our fans aren't baseball fans, really. So, yeah, we can talk about baseball a little bit, but it's not a baseball podcast. So, we're going to do another draft coming up soon. I think we're going to do the candy draft, right? I think that was the plan.
The candy draft.
And we're going to keep doing more drafts. Like, we're obviously going to do more Jeopardy and stuff. So, yeah, I think our goal was to do a game every other week. And I think we're going to be starting that. Like, next week, I think
next week we're going to do one. And then at that point, if we have the free time to do a game, we're going to do a game.
Exactly.
And it just we'll figure out when we release it.
And we're going to have we're going to have guests on a lot more frequently, too, because to be honest, those ones do the best.
Yeah.
And it was obviously if you follow us on TikTok, the Sauce Draft was easily our most liked or viewed TikTok. So that's awesome because that's just cool to see.
Yeah, it's nice to know that like a little bit of payoff here and there. That's just kind of big for us. It makes us excited to come back and continue to do this, and just knowing that our buddies are hilarious enough to make it blow up.
Exactly,
because they were Barry Hill and Paul were so good.
And Ivan won the draft. Just a spoiler, if you haven't seen it now, Ivan did. We are going to start voting on drafts, and even if I didn't vote for him, but like, should I have? Yeah, but I didn't like his sauces as much, but I mainly just did it because I didn't want everyone to vote for Ivan, you know? Like, I don't want him to get that big of a head, you know? So, like...
Yeah, he had awesome, and they were incredible in the last episode. Just absolutely hilarious.
Exactly. And we also are going to be doing our NFL predictions episode either next week or just sometime soon. That's always a really fun episode. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for...
Yeah, that's the updates.
Update of what's going on.
Want to talk about what we're doing today?
Yeah, go ahead.
Today we're doing our top 10 point guards list. We're going to talk about Donovan Mitchell and some landing spots. And Skunk has a game prepared. I don't know what the game is. He said it's for me. I don't know what it is. Well, that comes later. But is that the list we're doing? Is that the order we're doing things in?
Yeah, we can do it like that. It doesn't. I mean, actually, let's talk about Mitchell and the game before. Let's end it with the point guards because this will be quick. We aren't going to talk about this for long.
All right.
But before we talk about that, we should mention the MLB All-Star Game was a couple nights ago on Tuesday night. We are recording this on Thursday night, by the way. The American League won for the 9th straight year. It's just light work for the American League. Like, National League just can't win.
Why is that a thing? Like,
is
the National League literally worse?
No, it's just how it works.
The way
I
it
guess.
is.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, but
so odd. 9 straight years of home field advantage.
I know, isn't that crazy? And I would like to look at how that has affected like the winner of the world. Like,
is it like
not that much?
Is it like 7
like
and 2?
The Astros, the Red Sox, but like who won it last year? Oh no, but yeah, like the Braves last year, the Dodgers won. That's all I can really think about right now. So
you know more than I do.
It's pretty even. Off the top of my head. So
you just named off like 4 or 5.
Yeah. So let's talk about Miguel Cabrera. Obviously, he made the All-Star Game as a special selection. Did you watch the All-Star Game or no?
No.
They did Miguel Cabrera so dirty during the All-Star Game. Albert Pujols. This is no disrespect to Albert Pujols, but he was very loved. He was in the home run derby. Did good in the home. We did watch the home run derby together.
Yeah, shit on my boy Kyle Schwarber.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my boy.
and then in the All-Star Game, Pujols got a lot of love when he came into the game. And when Miguel Cabrera came into the game to pinch hit for Shohei Ohtani, they got David Ortiz doing a dugout interview with all the players, just running around it was funny. It was cool.
But all while Cabrera pinch hit.
During Cabrera's pinch hit. And like the second pitch, like Cabrera grounds out and he's out. And it like no one even mentioned Miguel Cabrera. Like even like him walking up to the plate, like it was so disrespectful to Miguel Cabrera in his probably his last ever All-Star.
Yeah, and like he's a legend.
He's a legend.
And he's
like,
a champion.
He's one of the greatest ever. Like it's just, and like I said, the way they treated Pujols, and then did this to Miggy, it's just like, come on, MLB.
Yeah,
like,
dirty.
what are you, Fox Sports? What are you doing?
That's messed up. Does Pujols have a ring?
Pujols does have a ring.
Damn,
he does. I had to think about it. Yeah, he does because he won one with the Cardinals. Was he on that team? Because the Cardinals beat the Tigers in the World Series in 2006, but I don't know if he was on that team or not. I would assume he was.
Okay, well,
so we'll go with yes.
Miggy, we appreciate you over here. We love you. You are the man.
Of course, he's our favorite player of all time.
Yeah, you're the literal GOAT in my eyes. I ask this all the time. Is Miggy like considered like the greatest hitter ever? Because to me, he is.
He's like considered one of the best right-handed hitters of all time.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of the greatest hitters are lefties. Like
what?
Not like all of them, but just like a lot of them.
That's so interesting.
Like Barry Bonds, Babe Ruth, Ted Williams. But your righties, you got like Hank Aaron, obviously, is like one of the greatest. So he's obviously over Miggy, but Miggy's up there for sure.
Yes, sir. Go Miggy.
The Tigers are going to probably be making some moves in the trade deadline. The trade deadline is August 2nd. They have a few guys that are, the Tigers are bad. They won today, the first game of their doubleheader, but they are going to be probably sellers at the trade deadline. The MLB trade deadline is always wild. And Juan Soto is declined a 10-year, 15-year, $440 million extension from the Washington Nationals, so they are going to be looking to trade him. Did you see like all the drama going on with that? So he was in the home run derby. Soto, obviously, he won the home run derby. They would not fly him out to Los Angeles. The Nationals refused to after he declined.
He had to pay for his own.
So he had to fly commercial to Los Angeles, and he got there at in the middle of the night, and then won the home run derby the next day.
Didn't they say that like we had one more offer for him?
Yeah, that's what I heard was like they made their offer. He said no, and apparently they were going to make one more offer. Didn't happen, and now things have gone south.
And then you do that shit, and he's not accepting anything you've got for him.
So I don't know if he's even gonna because to get the right deal for Juan Soto, you probably want to wait till the offseason, but at the same time, with all this drama going on, it would not surprise me at all if he gets moved before the trade or at the trade deadline. Which
just why treat a player like shit? Like, okay, he wants out. At least make his time enjoyable for the next few years, so that people are still like, oh well, at least they treated him well on his way out. Like treating a guy like shit is just never the way to go.
Exactly, and
never.
I do understand because you offered him the craziest contract ever, and he said no, and it's like, yeah, that would maybe make you a little bit mad, but like. The Nationals sold the rest of their team away last year. They traded away Scherzer and Trey Turner in the middle of the season and went full rebuild mode while having Juan Soto. And it's just like, what did you expect, I guess? Like, you thought he was going to sit there for 5 years while you suck every year? Like,
nobody wants to do that
Probably not
anymore.
a good idea, yeah. So.
Nobody wants to. In no league, player empowerment is real in almost every league other than football. Man, that is crazy. I saw that the Padres are like the main team that you might go to.
There has been 7 teams, I think, that have reached out already to the Nationals, and there's only so many teams that like have a legit offer. The Padres definitely are one. They have a lot of young prospects that can go for him.
And they already have Tatis, and who else?
They have Fernando Tatis. They have Manny Machado.
They
have Eric Hosmer. I don't know if you know him.
I do know
Jake Cronenworth was an all-star. They have Yu Darvish as one of their pitchers.
What team does Paul Goldschmidt play for?
The Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I was watching a video about a catcher.
The guy getting traded? Or?
No, just a really good catcher. I'm trying to learn more about baseball.
Okay.
Melinda.
Oh, Yadi Molina?
Yeah.
He's on the Cardinals as well.
That dude is awesome.
Yeah.
He is so
He's
cool.
like an old dude. Like, he'll probably retire pretty soon.
He's a dog.
He was he's one of the best behind the plate catchers ever.
Yeah, I was watching a spring training game where he dared the runner to go.
Yeah.
And the dude went and he just sniped him.
He's always been one of the... I don't like the Cardinals at all, but I've always liked Yadi Molina.
Catcher is my favorite position in baseball other than center field. Yeah. And shortstop. Those are my 3 favorite.
Those are the 3 most exciting. So
they're the coolest positions.
Yeah, they are.
For sure.
All right, so we were going to talk about Madden ratings, but because they all came out. Madden sucks, so there's no reason to talk about it. We all knew their ratings were going to be trash.
I can't believe they gave the guy with a torn ACL 98 speed.
Oh, it's Jameson Williams.
Yeah. How do you do
he's
that?
a 78 overall. He's the highest rated wide receiver.
Of rookies?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, of rookies. That's pretty cool.
It is nuts that he has 98 speed
for a wide receiver.
That is crazy.
That's awesome.
Behind Tyreek Hill.
And I would say, like, shout out Madden for doing the Lions. Great. Did you see what Deandre Swift was rated? Just take a guess, like, not what you think Madden would give you, but if you had to rate DeAndre Swift, what do you think his rating should be?
83.
Okay. I was even thinking like an 85, 86.
Okay.
He's got an 80.
Ooh.
He is the 28th ranked running back.
What?
Yes.
Okay, no, then he should be an 86.
Exactly.
28th is ridiculous.
That's ridiculous.
He was a top 12 running back in the NFL last year.
He was top 10 fantasy-wise, and obviously in the league, he was a top 12, 15 running back last year. Like,
that is crazy.
That's ridiculous.
How do you as the overall guy, how do you sit there and go, yeah, he was probably the 28th best running back overall talent-wise in the NFL? There's just no way you can say that. Pass catching, rushing, he literally does everything.
About him being 28th, that means guys like, this is just off the top of my head. Like, I don't know if these guys are higher. But that makes me think guys like Tony Pollard or like Devin Singletary, like guys like that, or Miles Sanders are higher than him. Like, none of those guys deserve to be better.
Yeah, is David Montgomery higher than them?
Probably, but he does like that one. That one's all right. Like that wouldn't make me that mad. But he's probably way higher than him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he's probably an 84.
It shouldn't be way higher.
85.
Yeah.
So, oh man, that's disrespectful.
Like he's 2 overalls higher than our rookie wide receiver coming in that hasn't played a snap.
And DeAndre was great last year. Like
exactly.
He's so good.
He had a great year last year.
That's messed up. Whatever. Yeah, and 98 speed again. To a guy with a torn ACL.
I love it.
It's just ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, but it's not like
they're rating it off the guy with the torn ACL, and they're rating it off the Bama kid.
Right, yeah.
But, like, yeah, I get it. It's just,
hopefully
still
he has 98 speed in real life.
I would just give him a 90 and call it good.
Right,
like, just make him fast, but not that fast.
And the funny thing is, they were, like, having all the rookies on to guess their speeds, and he guessed it right on the
He said 98?
Yeah, but they gave you, like, 4 options. He was like, it's got to be 98.
Like, I'm fast.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love him.
Let's talk about Donovan Mitchell. Quickly, this doesn't have to last very long. Obviously, he didn't request a trade, but I guess the Jazz they came out and said that we are listening to offers for Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, Rudy Gobert was traded earlier in the offseason for a huge package, and it seems like the Jazz are going to go towards maybe not a rebuild, but they definitely are going to take a year off as far as like maybe we reset right now, because the West is really going to be really good again next year. Like there was a lot of teams that were either out because of injury or just weren't as good as expectations that should all be good next year. Yeah. And the Jazz, if they run it back, especially with this team, even if they bring back Donovan Mitchell, they're no better than a 7 seed.
None.
So what's the point, you know? So let's talk about some teams that might be in the mix to go out and get Donovan Mitchell.
The one team that I really do just want to see him get, just so it can be done and over with. And I want to see him go to New York.
Yeah.
I want him to be on the Knicks, to put a superstar in New York again. Brunson is not a superstar. Julius Randle was a superstar for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then started flipping off fans, booing everybody, going crazy for no reason in the Garden. And I would just like to see New York get their Carmelo Anthony again, just to watch them struggle.
And I think he would thrive. I think he would thrive in New York. Like I think he would like it and be with the fans and everything.
Would they get bored of his one dunk that he has? Would they quit cheering after a while? Do something different. But I think it'd be great for the Knicks. You've got some young pieces that you can look to move. Emmanuel Quickly being the guy that I think would be, I think he's a high-priced guy. Probably not enough. You still have to throw in more.
Yeah.
But you go, I mean.
But they have a collection of young guys.
You can keep R.J. Barrett, Julius Randle, Donovan Mitchell, and Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
You can keep all 4 of those guys.
That's a good 4. I mean, like, as much as you want to hate on the Knicks, that's a good 4.
It is. It's a really good 4, and they could be a really fun team.
And with Mitchell Robinson obviously still there as the center, maybe the Jazz would want. No, but he just signed an extension, so he couldn't get traded. But yeah, a package of just shitballing, like Emmanuel Quickly, Cam Reddish, Obi Toppin.
Right there, and then picks.
Probably hella picks. Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's
then
going to
picks.
take a lot of picks, obviously.
Does take more picks than Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, definitely. But you got 5, so
That's
it's like
crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But the Jazz owner, there was just a rumor that apparently the asking price for Donovan Mitchell is 8 first-round picks,
dude.
Which is like,
what is going on in the NBA?
That's a lot of first-round picks, dude. Like the thing is, we didn't see many like unprotected picks get traded ever. Like even in the like the James Harden trade, some of those picks were protected. The Drew Holiday trade, there was a lot of picks, but it was mainly like swaps and stuff. And then this offseason has just been the unprotected pick era. Like, you guys realize who's in the draft next year, right?
Yeah.
You're giving away your unprotected pick. What if everyone gets hurt and you're the worst team in the league?
Yeah, and then you're screwed out of Victor Wembanyama.
Top 1 protected.
Yeah.
Like, can you do that?
I don't know, but you can do top 3.
Yeah.
It's basically the same value
Exactly.
Because then, let's say you do get a top 3 pick, next year it's unprotected.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, at that point, you might as well just do it. I think it's crazy what's happened this offseason with trades and picks getting moved. Because teams are just, it feels like they're selling their soul for one guy. And I don't know, and there's some logic behind it. But to me, if I'm trading 5 first-round picks for a center, I feel like one of those first-round picks could have been equivalent to that center.
Yeah.
But it's all about time. It's all about the timing of.
They believe right now is their time to
start competing, and they might be right. I mean, Anthony Edwards could blossom into a star. Anyways, New York Knicks is where I want to see Donovan Mitchell. What about you?
Obviously, the Miami Heat is a top contender to get Donovan Mitchell.
So hype.
They said that the Heat's focus right now is on Kevin Durant and not Donovan Mitchell, but
fair.
I think both are going to get stalled out anyways. The Heat's package of Tyler Hero and hella picks. Obviously, there might be a few other guys in there, but it's mainly Tyler Hero and hella picks. It doesn't sound like much, but Tyler Hero as an asset is better than any guy on the Knicks that they have, but maybe their collection of guys is better. But as far as one player goes, getting Tyler Hero is a good replacement for Donovan Mitchell. Obviously, he's not Donovan Mitchell, but
he's a starting point as a young player who's evolving. Every single time we see him play, he's getting better, it feels like.
And Miami Heat with Donovan Mitchell obviously are a championship contender, maybe championship favorite. I mean, that team is
disgusting.
That big 3 is in contention for best big 3 in the league, So that would be very fun. Do you have any like sleeper teams that you think have a package for Mitchell, or like would just be cool to see Donovan Mitchell on? Because I have one. I could say it if you want me to, so you can think of one.
I've got one. Okay. I think the Cleveland Cavaliers could make a move for Donovan Mitchell.
That was one I talked about a while ago, but I forgot about it.
You trade Colin Sexton, a couple other pieces. You've got tons of them at this
Isaac
point.
Okoro.
Yeah, which is fine. He hasn't been that great anyways.
And hella picks.
And then one of your 7 centers. Trade Lowry Markkanen with him. And all of a sudden your team looks set to start winning the next 2 or 3 years.
Nuts.
Yeah, that team, like JJ Redick said, Pistons, 2 or 3 years. It's the same with the Cavs if they make that move. 2 or 3 years, they're in contention with the best teams in the East.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that big 4 of Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, Allen, and throw whoever, whether it's LeVert or Lowry Markkanen or Jetty Osman, like
so disgusting.
Oh my God. And they have Ochai Agbaji too. They drafted that is the Cavs. If they don't need to, they can just keep it rolling and grow, which is fine. But if they're willing to pay the price, it would suck as a Pistons fan. I want to see it bad, but if it did happen, it would be like, shit, dude.
That's
that
the team.
team's beating us in the playoffs if we ever play them.
And we have to compete. And that's the team we're now competing with in the future.
That team is nuts if they get Donovan Mitchell.
It's funny because that's the way we've started to look at things. That's the way I have.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been like, holy shit. Okay, so let's say we make the finals. We're probably going to have to play the Pelicans. Are we better than Zion Williamson?
No. DeJounte Murray to the Hawks. I love that. Wait, shit, we're going to have to play them if we, in a year or two, So it's interesting.
It's a lot of fun because we're going to start disliking teams, which we've never had to do.
Which I love. I'm excited to do that because in the NFL, I dislike a lot of teams, and it makes me more, but I do like the aspect of rooting for just basketball rather than
I do
hating
too.
on guys, but it makes the fan part.
I've been doing it long enough at this point.
Yeah,
I want
my team to be good.
Yeah.
My sleeper team is the Denver Nuggets. Whether I
awesome,
assume Jamal Murray stays, it's a package surrounded around Michael Porter Jr. with hella picks. You have a starting 5 of, I know it's a small backcourt, but Jamal Murray, Donovan Mitchell with KCP, Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic. I think Donovan Mitchell with Nikola Jokic is nasty. That backcourt, Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell went at each other in the bubble. Now they're teammates. I think that would be a cool one.
Dropping 100 a game together.
The team that drafted Donovan Mitchell originally ends up getting him. I think it would be cool.
That would be awesome. That would be so cool.
All right, so that's pretty much it for Donovan Mitchell talk. Let's get this little quiz game out of the way.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun.
You got me nervous.
Yeah.
You definitely have me nervous.
All right, so this game is good, and I think it would be fun for you to do this with me, but I thought of it like literally last second.
Okay.
So like, and like I think it would be because I would like to test my knowledge with
Okay.
this.
And I'll prepare one for next episode.
So I have 3 players that are current role players in the NBA, that are current like journeyman role players in the NBA.
Okay.
I need you to name me all the teams that these guys have played for in their careers.
Okay.
Think it's fun.
Yeah, just don't say Ish Smith. Please. Please do not say Ish Smith.
He is not one of them. He's not one
I will
of them.
just name all 30 teams.
One of them is really hard that I know you're not going to get. 2 of them are like I think you should get, but we'll find out.
Okay.
Starting off with Bullion Bogdanovic.
Bullion Bogdanovic. Okay, so this is the younger guy, right? Not the Jazz
That's
guy.
Bogdan.
Okay, that's Bogdan.
Bullion is the Jazz one. So do you want me to tell you like the amount of teams, or do you want to just try and get it, and then I'll tell you if you're struggling?
Dude, Bullion is hard already.
Right?
Okay, so Jazz, obviously.
Yeah.
Where was he before the Jazz? Was he on the Nets ever?
He was on the Nets. He started with the Nets. That's where he started his career.
And what year did he start his career?
Probably 2014 or 15, because he played overseas for like when he was young, so he came in at an older age.
So give me how many teams now?
4 teams he played for. So you need 2 teams in between when he started with Brooklyn and now is on Utah.
Okay. Are the Chicago Bulls are in my head, but that's not a guess because I don't think he played there.
I'll give you a small hint. One of these teams he only played for half a season, and then he got traded to the other team that you didn't guess, and he was on this other team for a year and a half. Like he got traded at the trade deadline.
Is the Bucks a team?
The Bucks is not a team.
Okay, I thought I had a Bucks in my head.
Yeah.
Had him in a Bucks jersey.
Man. I low-key kind of see that, though. I don't know why.
He just fits in it.
Like Ersan Ilyasova, like
was he
Mirza Teletovic.
Mirza
Teletovic. He's kind of fitting that group.
There's definitely there's a little bit of Rockets in my head now, but I don't remember it, and I would have remembered him on those Rockets teams.
Yeah.
Because I watched him a lot. Did he ever play on the Trailblazers?
He did not play on the Trailblazers.
Okay, now this is getting tough.
And once you get to a point where like you don't know, obviously I'll just tell you, because if you don't know, then there's no point in just guessing, obviously.
I just know it's a team I didn't pay attention to through those years. So I know that it's
you're right.
To me, it feels like it's a very mid team.
So the team that he played 1.5 years on, because the one that he played a half year on, I don't think you're gonna remember. Like it's so like random that he played on this team. The team he played a year and a half on, the half year like no one really knew about him, but the year after was when he went from this team to Utah. And he broke out this year. Like he averaged like 20 plus points per game. I think he averaged like 20, like 1 or 2, played really good, and then got paid by Utah. And that was like, oh, what a great signing by Utah. He just had a great season. Man, this would have been like 2019.
Yeah, and I've got the Rockets in my head, but I know it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that.
The Hornets are an option in my head, and the Pelicans are an option in my head. But I don't think it's either of those. I'm going to say final answer, the Pelicans.
Not the Pelicans.
I don't know.
All right, so the team I was telling you was...
The half year. Let's go with the half year team.
The half year team was the Washington Wizards. Played a half year on the Wizards. Yeah, that's one that like not many people know.
I don't remember that at all.
Played a half year for them, signed like a 1 or 2 year deal with them, got traded at the deadline to the Indiana Pacers, where he played a half year, and then the year he went off was when Victor Oladipo missed the entire year. It was the year after Oladipo's breakout year.
I actually remember that.
Yeah, and he was really good. Yeah, like he was really good, broke out, got paid by Utah.
Yep, I can totally picture.
I figured you remembered him on Indiana.
Yeah, I remember him on Indiana. Now that you say it.
That one was like a medium version. This next one is easy. I think you should get this one. I think it's pretty easy.
Believe it or not, podcast listeners, I do remember that. Now that he said it.
All right. So the easy version. Larry Nance Jr. Give me the teams he has played for on his career.
Portland.
Portland is one of them.
Cleveland.
Cleveland is one of them.
Okay, how many teams? Lakers.
Four teams. The Lakers was his first team.
The Bulls?
Not the Bulls. But he was involved in like the 3-team trade with the Bulls from the Cavs to Portland.
Okay.
I will tell you, you have not listed the team he is currently on.
Huh?
He was on Portland, got traded at the trade deadline.
I don't know what team Larry Nance is currently on.
Started with the Lakers, got traded to Cleveland, got traded from Cleveland to Portland this year, played half the year, and got traded at the deadline this season when Portland sold everybody.
Yeah, and where did Portland do their selling? Where did they sold CJ to Pelicans?
It is the Pelicans, yes.
Yes. Okay, so I'm missing one team.
No, that was it. That was the last one. Pelicans was the last one. So you got Larry Nance Jr.
Let's go. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That makes me feel good. Yeah. I feel warm inside.
There you go. All right. I figured like maybe there was a chance he forgot about Cleveland, but after like the Squidward.
Yeah, the Patrick. It was the Patrick meme.
The Patrick meme. Like
him just.
Everyone remembers that.
I low key like until I said it, I did forget like the Lakers. I was like, where did he start? Lakers. Yeah.
All right. So this is like the really hard one. Like there's no way you get them all. But I think you can get a decent amount of them.
Okay.
Name me all the teams that Seth Curry has played for in his career.
Okay. Nets. 76ers.
76ers.
From there, Seth Curry was, where did he start? Where do I remember him dueling with his brother?
He did duel with his brother in a playoff series on one team that you haven't named, I'll say.
Okay. Oh man. He is. The problem was the Mavericks.
The Mavericks is one. That wasn't the team he dueled, but that was the team he broke out with.
Yeah.
Was the Mavericks. He played for them 2 separate times, actually.
Like the Grizzlies is in my head, but that's not right.
The Grizzlies, he actually started his career with the Grizzlies.
What?
Played 1 game for the Memphis Grizzlies.
I knew that.
And then went to a few other teams where he played very minimal games for.
Yeah, and that's the issue.
Exactly. There's 3 teams.
Did he play for Portland?
Portland was the team that he battled his brother with.
Okay.
Remember Western Conference Finals?
Yep, I do.
Where he was really good, and his dad and his mom had to wear like the half jerseys or whatever. Yeah.
Okay, from there, I don't think I can get any.
Yeah, this is what like it. I wouldn't have gotten any of the other ones. So do you want me to just tell you?
Yeah.
All right. So
Hawks.
he started. No, he started with Memphis. Played 1 game for Memphis. Went to Cleveland. Played 1 game.
He played for Cleveland.
1 game.
What?
Then he went to Phoenix. Played 2 games for Phoenix.
No way.
Then he went to Sacramento, which I didn't know. Played for Sacramento, like actually played a full season with Sacramento.
I can low-key picture him in purple. I feel like he had the fluffy hair.
Probably. And then Dallas, Portland, Dallas again, Philly, and now Brooklyn.
So I got all of his like teams that actually matter.
You got all the teams I thought you were going to get. Yeah. And you got Memphis too. So
yeah, and Memphis.
That's solid.
Yeah, there's
no way anyone at home also got that. So.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. If you got that, tell us.
And if you tell us, I don't believe you.
Me either.
So don't tell us.
Piece
you're
of
a liar.
shits.
All right. Are we ready to hop into the list?
Yeah. Are we?
It's a hard list. Top 10 point guards in the NBA right now. It's a hard list.
Heading into next year,
obviously. I have 15 names written down.
Yep, 15.
Let's go over a guideline of how we're going to be doing this because we did this last year. We've done this the last 2 years, actually.
Yep.
We do point guards. Next episode, we'll do shooting guards, small forwards, power forward, center, blah, blah, blah. And then we will do a big top whatever players in the NBA. I think we did top 30 last year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do whatever this year. We did top 50
top 25.
1 year. Yeah, top 25.
I feel like that's a good number.
Yeah. So we're starting with point guards. The point guards list is I'm probably going to say this about every single one, but the point guards one is the hardest one because it's the best one. There is so many good point guards in the NBA. I have 15 names written down, and all of them are elite. Positions. We are going positions based off of ESPN rosters. So we're going to go over the guys that aren't listed as point guards. I know it's dumb. Like, some of these guys should be point guards. DeJounte Murray is a shooting guard. CJ McCollum is a shooting guard. James Harden is a shooting guard. Fred VanVleet is a shooting guard. We were going to say Fred VanVleet is a point guard because he's obviously a point guard.
Yeah, he is.
But he is listed as a shooting guard, so he's going to be on the shooting guards list. Is there any other guys that...
Nope, I think you hit
I think that was all of them.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
This is... Okay. We're not going to do our honorable mentions right away. When we get to like 6, we can do our honorable mentions. But like...
And I have my honorable mentions ranked too.
I don't. I just have them there. But like the honorable mentions, the 15th ranked guy could be your 10th ranked guy.
Yeah, legit, for sure.
I would not be able to argue it because the point guards in the NBA are so talented, and it makes sense because if you are 6'4" and under, you have to be so extremely good at the game of basketball to make it to the league, and that's what most of these guys are. Some of them are a little bit taller, but you just have to be so insanely talented.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Number 10, what do you got?
Number 10, I have a guy who broke out this year really started balling out, and that's Darius Garland. He might be a guy who shouldn't have made the list, but I became a huge fan of Darius Garland this year. I think he is such a good offense in himself.
Oh, yeah.
He can float. He can shoot it. He can pass like a naughty word. He is so uniquely talented and so short. I remember at one point,
so short.
I thought he was a bust. And
he had a really bad rookie year. Yeah, and his second year wasn't great, but he improved. But he didn't have a great second year. Yeah,
this year he was incredible.
He balled out this year. Yep. Yeah. My number 10 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I love Shai. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA. He had another really good year this past year. He has yet to make an All-Star game, but eventually OKC will start to compete, and he's the leader of this young core in OKC. Mm-hmm. And I think his two-way ability, he's definitely a great defender as well. He's not the greatest playmaker in the world, but when you have Josh Giddey on your side, I think that is a perfect fit with him. He's got a funky jump shot, but Shai hit some crazy clutch shots this past year too. Like he definitely has that clutch gene in him, and I'm really excited to watch him and the rest of the Thunder team. And I got him at number 10.
Yeah, do you know how many points he averaged this year?
Shai?
Yeah.
Like 23.
26.
Shai averaged 26 a game.
I think that's what I was reading.
Really?
Yeah, look it up. Look it up real quick while I'll talk about number 9.
It works.
My number 9 is a guy who is everybody's fan favorite. He's really, really good at playmaking. Playmaking is definitely his number one aspect. However, he scored the ball extremely well this year, and that's LaMelo Ball. He averaged 19 points a game, like 6 or 7 assists, but he's a much better playmaker than his assist numbers show. When you watch him, you can tell. And he's a great rebounder, and his versatility defensively, granted he's not very great at defense, but he does have the versatility to switch on to bigger players, which is huge. LaMelo Ball has taken a massive leap year after year, and I expect him to take a much bigger one this year into just being an absolute monster.
Yeah.
And not being it, because right now he's a debate to not be a top 10 point guard. I think after this next season, I'm not sure there will be a debate.
He averaged 24.5 this year.
I was wrong.
It's close.
Respect.
Like it's not that far off. But
it was off.
Hey, want to do me a favor? No. Like when you say like your person, want to just say like number 9 is this, and then talk about like why he's a guy.
Yep. You want me to do it right now?
No, you don't have to. Like that one's fine. But
did I do it right there? Don't you need it?
Well, I can find it. Just say it. Just say it right now.
Number 9 is LaMelo Ball.
Thank you. Okay.
Perfect.
There we go. My number 9 is also LaMelo Ball. For all the same reasons you said. When LaMelo Ball came in the league, obviously there was a lot of like hype around him, and like I feel like a lot of people almost wanted him to be a bust. Mm-hmm. But he was good from the get-go. Yep. Obviously, he won Rookie of the Year, and he was even better this past year. Like he was really good, and he's only going to continue to get better. He's going to continue to get higher on this list. Just looking at this list, it's crazy all the young players that are on this list, because 2 years ago, this list was filled with old dudes. And it's not like Kyle Lowry was in this list. Yeah. Kyle Lowry wasn't even in my top 15 honorable mentions.
I don't give a shit about Kyle Lowry.
Exactly, not
anymore.
Even close. So it's just like, it's just weird how fast things change in the NBA. But LaMelo Ball, like you said, he's got the ball on a string when he dribbles. Great passer. His shot was really good this year. He finishes at the hoop well. Yeah, he's a little lackluster on defense, but his size, he should be a competent defender. Mm-hmm. Like he definitely, there's no reason why he can't be a average defender. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's the future. He's not gonna be better than Cade eventually, but he's good right now.
And Cade, I will say, was an honorable mention.
Yeah, he was for me too.
Yeah.
Number 8, I don't know where to rank this guy. Number 8 is Marcus Smart.
I was just gonna say, bro, like you literally just did it again. Marcus Smart making it. Okay.
Number 8, Marcus Smart, coming off a depoy, averaged like 12 points a game, but it doesn't matter. Marcus Smart does so many things that don't show up in the box score. Draymond-esque. He is so uniquely gifted in his heart and determination on the floor. He just wants it more than you, and it is very clear. He showed up, especially in the playoffs, and balled out. Depoy is huge.
First guard, championship basketball.
Yeah, first guard to win it since Gary Payton, which is unbelievable.
And he's a great shooter, great catch and shoot player. He transitioned to actually playing point guard full time this year because he always has been a guy that came off the bench. And everyone was like, "Oh, the Celtics got to get a point guard." Well, Smart just did it.
Yeah, Smart said, "Wait a second. Yeah. Why don't I just do it?"
Exactly. And obviously, they got a point guard in the offseason with Malcolm Brogdon, but that's not going to affect Marcus Smart. He's still going to be the starting point guard of this team. So Smart did not make my list. I considered it, but I just couldn't put him above any of these other guys.
Interesting.
So he did not make my list. Number 8 is Darius Garland. Darius Garland was phenomenal this past season. Really became one of the best floor generals in the entire NBA, and it's pretty easy to do when you have Jared Allen and Evan Mobley as your big men. It makes things a lot easier, and he really elevated that Cavs team to become obviously they didn't make the playoffs, but they got struck with injury late in the season. That Cavs team obviously is one of the best young teams in the NBA now, and it's led by Darius Garland, who's a great scorer, a great passer, and obviously not the best defender, but one of the best point guards, young point guards in the entire NBA.
Yeah, the way they've built that team, he doesn't need defense at all.
Yeah.
He could be the worst defender in the league and he'd be fine. He's got Jared Allen and Mobley behind him. I love Darius Garland's game. I'm so excited to see how he plays next year.
So Marcus Smart over Melo Ball.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, I think Marcus Smart affects the game.
I know, I agree. I'm just trying to grasp it.
Yeah. No,
interesting.
And
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I think Marcus Smart's impact on the game is greater than LaMelo Ball's. I think if LaMelo Ball has a bad game, that affects the team more than if Marcus Smart were to have a bad game.
Yeah, definitely, because he's the star of the team. Yeah, where Smart isn't. Yeah.
Yep, and he just doesn't score the ball. I mean, a bad game for Marcus Smart means he's getting blown by a few more times.
Right, and he's just missing shots.
Yeah,
and he's not going to score.
He only scores 12 points a game anyways. Mm-hmm. My number 7 is Chris Paul. This was so tough, and it's tougher when I explain to you my number 6. Chris Paul is one of the best, as in what a point guard's job is to do for most teams. He is one of the best to ever do it, and he still is a great point guard. But the other parts of the game and the other aspects now, it seems like he just isn't there like he used to be. And he had a one down year, and by down year I mean 15 and 10. Okay, that's and incredible.
He was still
yeah, he was incredible.
He was all NBA. He just had a bad playoffs.
Yeah, I guess that's the way of putting it. But I don't know. He is so tough to rank because just sometimes you watch him and it feels like this is the best point guard on the planet. And other times you watch it, it's like, man, Chris Paul's struggling.
Yeah.
Which you can say about a lot of guys. But Chris Paul is my number 7.
Chris Paul is also my number 7. Chris Paul was a guy that definitely was rated higher last year. And it's weird because Chris Paul was having a really good year before he got hurt. Obviously, the Suns, they were the 1 seed. I get the season ended poorly, but we do have to remember the entire year. Chris Paul, before he got hurt, this was before all the Devin Booker MVP talks because
Chris Paul was
the leader, and Chris Paul was in MVP talks. He was a first-team All-NBA guy. Gets hurt and things change, still made an All-NBA team. But in the playoffs, it definitely showed that things just went south for the Suns team. And I think it's a reason why I'm ranking Chris Paul lower than usual is because of how things ended for the Phoenix Suns. Now, Chris Paul did have a couple moments in the playoffs that were fantastic. He had that one game that he didn't miss a shot and scored 30 points or something. So obviously he had his moments, but Chris Paul has shown his his age, I guess, a little bit. But I don't think, he's still a top 7 point guard in the NBA.
There were moments where he definitely looked tired in the playoffs.
And moments that he just was doing things that were un-Chris Paul-like. Some stupid moments in that game. The Suns team gave up in Game 7 against the Mavericks, and he really didn't care about it. Mm-hmm. The Chris Paul that I know is getting on everybody's ass about that.
Yeah,
you're not letting DeAndre Ayton quit at halftime, Yep. So it was a little weird to see how things ended for the Phoenix Suns. I don't know. We'll see where Chris Paul is next year. Is he still going to be top 10? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
There's definitely a chance he could be one of these guys who gets knocked out for. I can name off some of my honorable mentions because I think.
This is going to make a sound real quick, probably. Okay, never mind. I'm going to find our top 10 point guards from last year because I forgot to do that.
I'm taking, my honorable mentions from here. I had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Did not make my list. He was first guy off for sure. De'Aaron Fox did not make my list. He was amazing this season. Jalen Brunson did not make my list. I don't know if he's listed. He's probably listed as 2 guard, isn't he?
Oh, no, he's point guard.
Tyrese Halliburton did not make my list, and Malcolm Brogdon did not make my list. And then Cade. Obviously, but I don't need to say that.
My honorable mentions in order. Drew Holiday was my number 1 honorable mention. I missed the list.
Forgot about him.
De'Aaron Fox missed my list. missed my list. Sorry. Marcus Smart missed my list. Cade Cunningham missed my list. And Tyrese Halliburton missed my list. Those are my 5 guys that I had written down.
Just so much talent.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it my number 6?
It is.
Yeah, you said Chris Paul.
Your number 6, yep.
Number 6 is Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is not a better point guard than Chris Paul is. If that makes any sense. Kyrie Irving is better at the game of basketball than Chris Paul is. Not a better point guard as in what a point guard's job typically is to do. And Kyrie, to me, before the playoffs happened, was a top 5 point guard in the league. He was incredible during the regular season when he played 29 games, so we don't have a huge sample size, but he was unreal. In the playoffs, I mentioned to Kyle and I mentioned on the podcast, there were moments where you forgot Kyrie Irving was on the floor, and it was oh, wait, is that Kyrie in the corner? He's playing right now? It's the Kevin Durant show, and it's clearly he's running point guard and everything. Kyrie Irving is still the most skilled player in the NBA, I think, other than Kevin Durant. I'm excited to see what happens this next year with everything in Brooklyn. Everything. I just got to know. I'm itching to know.
Definitely. I got Kyrie Irving at number 6 as well. It kind of hurt to put him this low. Because Kyrie Irving, like you said, skill-wise, he is just one of the most elite skilled players in the NBA. But you got to consider everything else that comes with Kyrie. I hate to say it, but this is everything when you're rating a player. And Kyrie Irving has struggled to stay on the court for a long time now. He struggled to just stay out of headlines or whatever.
Stay off the media.
I like Kyrie. I'm a fan of Kyrie. I love watching him play, but I got him at number 6 because one and a couple other guys just made huge jumps this year that jumped higher than him. But when he plays, he is one of the most fun guys to watch. He's an elite scorer. When he came back and started playing full time, he had multiple 50-point games. He scored 60 against the Magic this year. He was really good. But how things ended in the playoffs was not pretty, like you said. And I legit do kind of think that the Nets are going to run it back with KD and Kyrie and somehow resolve it and try and play still. And
I hope that's what
happens because no team that KD goes to is going to be better than this current Nets team. And it's not the same for Kyrie, but Kyrie opted into his player option and said, we're coming back. And then it's just now we're not. So I don't know. Maybe he ends up on the Lakers. Who knows? Kyrie's number 6.
Yeah. And number 5 for me. I agree with everything you said about Kyrie Irving. Number 5 for me is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard did not play last year. And kind of my rule of thumb with this podcast has been if they didn't play last year, I know what tier they were in last time, so I stick him at the bottom of the tier. He is a tier 2 point guard and sometimes a tier 1 point guard. 2 years ago, he probably was, but I didn't toss him as a tier 1 point guard still. So I stuck him at the bottom of the tier 2 point guards, which he is right here. Damian Lillard is a monster. Do not get me wrong. I love Dame Dollar. One of the most clutch players in NBA history. Straight up, there's no debate about that. I'm so excited to see him back on the floor this year.
Yeah, same. I miss watching him play too. My number 5 is one of the most exciting guys to watch in the league, and that's Ja Morant. Ja really broke out this past year. I don't even remember if he made our top 10 lists coming into last season. Well, I guess we'll look in a sec. But Ja obviously was the most improved player this year. He broke out, led the Memphis Grizzlies to the 2 seed and to the second round of the playoffs. And he's just so fun. He is one of the most electrifying players in the league. Will dunk on you. His shot was better this year. Scores the ball so well. And he's going to get higher. I think the Trae Young, Ja Morant debate is a really good one right now, and it's going to be a good one for a very long time because they're both really good, and Ja is only going to get better. He's just so fun to watch. It's just ridiculous.
Electric.
Right now, I got him at number 5, and I don't see him going any lower than that in the next 8 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's number 5 right now.
My number 4 is Ja Morant. Like you said, he is just unbelievable when he's on the floor. He is a guy that can carry a team as far as he wants it to go. He is so good at the game of basketball. The fact that halfway through the season he was leader in points in the paint. This guy is 6'3", 6'4", and dunking it like crazy, fearless. He's got a crazy mentality.
Yeah.
Memphis Grizzlies have just taken over with this mentality of, we might be the young guys, but we're better than you. We are.
We are.
And I love it. I love what the Memphis Grizzlies are doing. I'm hoping that's what happens. Like, they're what I want the Pistons to be right now.
Facts.
They are just unbelievable. And Ja Morant is the face of that, no doubt.
Yeah. My number 4 is Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks. Trae Young, I do think, is better than Ja Morant. Obviously, you do too because you haven't said him. Trae Young is one of the best guys with the ball in his hand in the NBA, if that makes sense.
He might be the second best offense in the league.
Yeah, like he is just the fact that he is the Atlanta Hawks offense. He has the ball in his hand, so much. He led the league in total points and total assists last year. He's durable. He has not gotten hurt yet in his career. He's small, yeah, but he's still a great offensive player. The defense isn't the greatest, obviously, but I think the offense is so good that it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, in the playoffs this past year, Miami, they shut him down. He had a game where Kevin Knox scored more points than him in the game. That's a little wild, but that's against the Miami Heat, a great defense, and Trae Young is the only guy out there doing anything. So Trae Young.
Go on. It's crazy that we didn't hold that against him, the playoffs thing, but we held it against everybody else so far.
Exactly, yeah.
But it was different. He wasn't supposed to win.
Because 2 years ago, they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. And
unexpectedly.
Yeah, so Trae Young is one of the best shooters in the NBA, one of the best passers in the NBA, if not the best, and he's another guy that's going to be in this top 4, top 5 for the next so many years. And I hate the whole... I know, this is going off on another tangent, but I hate the whole, Luka Trae Young trade thing. The Mavs won the trade. That was a horrible trade. The Hawks could have had Luka. Dude, they have Trae Young. He's been almost nearly as good. They have the same amount of Eastern Conference or the same amount of conference finals appearances. Trae Young, I don't know if he's been All-NBA more than Luka's been All-NBA 3 times. So obviously Luka's better, but Trae Young has been really good, so it's not that big of a deal.
To me, it's the Hakeem Olajuwon drafted in front of MJ.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's going to be the Rockets.
Could have drafted Jordan.
What a shit pick.
Yeah.
No, you still got an all-timer, and that's what they have with Trae Young. They weren't confident in Luka. Okay, not many were. Okay, the Dallas took a risk on Luka.
Yeah.
He was the foreign dude who we didn't know if it would translate because he was slow. He was too big, it felt like. And Dallas took more of a risk. I mean, the Hawks did too, because Trae Young had as many questions as Luka did.
Right.
Super interesting how it's worked out so well for both franchises.
Yeah, it is. That's one of the coolest trades ever. Worked out for both.
Yeah, absolutely. My number 3 is Trae Young. All the same reasons. He's a top 10 offense in the league. If it was him and 4 Andre Robersons, he's still a top 10 offense somehow.
Give him a guy that can catch lobs. It's going to be dangerous.
It's going to be dangerous. I got nothing else to say about Trae. Oh, wait, I do. His mentality is dope. He's another guy with
the villain mentality.
The villain of the league is awesome. I love villains, and it hasn't affected me yet. I might hate him eventually one day, but so far, I love him as a villain.
Yeah. My number 3 is Damian Lillard. Also, I do want to say I'm excited to see how Trae Young is going to have to play with DeJounte Murray because obviously things are going to have to change a little bit, but that's a different thing. Damian Lillard, number 3. The reason I still have Dame Lillard above these guys, above Trae Young and Ja Morant, is kind of for the reason that you don't have him higher than them. I think the fact that Dame Lillard, I think people almost are forgetting how good Dame really is. Yes, he missed a majority of the season last year. He played the first 20 so games or whatever.
Wasn't he pretty bad in those first 20 games?
He wasn't bad, but the team was bad. He didn't shoot the ball very well. He still scored well, but he wasn't shooting the ball very well. It was kind of like how Steph was the year he got hurt. He was shot the ball like shit and then got hurt. But Dame is still a guy that when he comes back healthy next year should give you 28-plus points and 8-plus assists, and now has a better team around him with a guy than Anthony Simons that I know CJ McCollum and him are very similar, but I think Simons has more playmaking than CJ McCollum, so I think that will benefit Dame Lillard. But Dame is just one of the most elite scorers in the league. Obviously, he's the best deep shooting player in the league as well. And I just think that he's almost gotten forgotten about how good he truly is. And I still got him here at number 3. I had him at 2 last year over Luka, so I might just have some Dame bias as well. But I'm excited to see him play with Jeremy Grant and the rest of their new look Portland team because I just miss watching Dame play. He's so fun to watch.
Me too. And the Dame, and I can't be
upset. It's not that big of a deal, yeah.
No, it was just different thought process going into it, completely different. Number 2 is Luka Doncic. He is just very. Eventually, I could see him being the best player in the NBA for a couple seasons in a row.
Yeah.
He's just that good. He does it all except for be a great defender, but he's still solid. He's good enough.
Yeah.
As for what he does in the offensive end. It is so much fun to watch Luka, and the fact that he's kind of a villain in his own way.
Yeah.
He's a shit talker, doesn't take anything from nobody, always yelling at somebody, whether it be the other team, the refs a lot, which are like, it's just who Luka is.
Yeah.
And he's going to do that while scoring 37 on you in the playoffs. What are you going to do about it? I love Luka Doncic. So much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. Luka, number 2. Not much to say about Luka. I mean, like, every year he has played in the playoffs, he has been nothing but phenomenal. Obviously, his first 2 years, he was bounced in the first round, but he was nuts in those series.
Yeah.
Averaged like a 30-some point triple-double in both of those series, hit a game winner in the bubble. And then this year, his team finally, the rest of the team put it together, led by Luka, and they made it to the Western Conference Finals where Luka was still really good the entire time. Like, he has not been subpar in the playoffs yet in his career. It's kind of like Donovan Mitchell was at the beginning. I don't think he's been bad yet either, but Luka's on a different level of that. Like, he's just been elite in the playoffs, which matters most. He's number 2, and he will be number 1 very soon.
Mm-hmm. Number 1 is the host of your ESPYs, Stephen Curry, NBA champion. Next year should be an MVP favorite again. This guy is just incredible and continues to prove everybody wrong, including me. Man, these Golden State Warriors, that championship was unreal. And Steph was for sure the face of it. I do, and obviously won Finals MVP. However, this year was just like every other Warriors year, such a team effort. It's unreal.
Yeah.
It's so awesome to watch them play the game because they just do it the right way.
And obviously, it's led by Steph. But
Yeah.
it's all hands on deck. Like,
Yeah.
they're so deep. Everyone makes a huge impact on the game. 100%. Steph's number 1. But I do want to ask, did you consider Luka over Steph?
Yeah, absolutely.
I did.
Because Luka
he's that good.
He is that good.
I don't think they're going to, when we do our players list, they're not going to be, like, Luka and Steph are probably going to be right neck and neck. Like, it's close.
Luka is borderline top 5 best basketball player in the NBA.
Yeah, I think
he just doesn't have the wins to back it up yet. Like, winning
and he's still just so young, and it's hard to put a guy that young in the top 5.
But he really is that great.
He probably is top 5. If not, like, if he's not, he's 6. You know, like, he's right there.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's our top 10 point guards. Oh yeah, I was gonna say honorable mentions, but we already looked at them. So let's look at our list from last year because I think that'll be pretty cool to look at.
I like doing this.
Yeah, same. So
blast from the past.
This was from. Okay, never mind. I can't see when it was from. It was from like a year ago, pretty much. My number 10 was Drew Holiday. Your number 10 was Jamal Murray. We each had Ja Morant at number 9.
Oh.
My number 8 was De'Aaron Fox. Your number 8 was Russell Westbrook. My number 7 was Russell Westbrook, and your number 7 was De'Aaron Fox. So out of the 4 names on each team, Ja Morant is the only one that is currently still in our list. So shout out Russell Westbrook, by the way, because he was on this level last year until the Lakers ruined him. I'm not saying he ruined the Lakers. Lakers ruined him.
Respect, I guess.
Chris Paul was my number 6. Kyrie Irving was your number 6. We each had Trae Young at number 5. Kyrie was my number 4. CP3 was your number 4. And then I had Luka at 3, Dame at 2. You had Dame at 3, Luka at 2, and Steph number 1.
I had Luka at 2 last year too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I think I was in the minority of having Dame over Luka still, but I think I do remember saying, like, this is for sure going to be the last year of Dame over Luka.
Yeah.
Like, and so I felt like I needed to give Dame that respect of, all right, we know this is the last year of that.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Giving guys respect and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just not me.
Dame didn't run from the grind. That's why I didn't do that. So.
Why did you just say that?
Because that's just like the meme of Dame.
Oh,
like,
okay.
Not wanting out of Portland.
Oh, yeah. I get it now.
All right, everyone. Go check us out on everything. Like we said, we'll be back with another draft very shortly.
Twitter page incoming.
Let us know, like, other drafts you want us to do. Like, because we have candy draft. And it doesn't have to be food. It can be, like, literally anything. My dad was like, we could do, like, a announcers draft. Like, just broadcasters of any sport. Like, that would be cool.
Toilet paper draft.
Sure. Toilet paper draft.
Charmin Halter soft, baby.
All right. That's it. Bye.
Peace.